Here we go again. Here we go again. How many times does that little phrase, as harmless as it sounds, thank you? For a lot of people, it's the beginning of a mental spiral. You're already frustrated. You're already tense. You're already expecting something to go wrong. And then before the situation even unfolds, we find ourselves sinking down that hole. Here we go again. And that matters a lot psychologically because your brain is listening to the stories that you repeat and reinforce. Stick with me until the end of this because I'm going to break that down with two automatic negative thoughts that are hiding inside of that phrase. And we got to break ourselves out of those things for the sake of having less anxiety, stress, mood drops. Let's get into it. I'm Dr. William July. I'm a psychologist. I translate psychology into everyday straight talk. And one of the things that people often miss is that not every negative thought is just venting. Some thoughts actually shape the direction that your brain is moving. And here we go again is often an automatic negative thought. That means it's a fast, reflexive thought pattern that quietly pushes you towards stress, defeat, anxiety, or even hopelessness. So this is why that phrase needs to be defeated. Let's break it down again. When people say, here we go again, they're usually not describing the present moment. They're predicting the future based on past events. And that's really important to understand because now your brain isn't reacting just to what is happening right now, here and now. It's reacting to what it expects to happen or what you have had happen in the past. Psychologically, that really changes everything. You see, then your attention shifts, your emotions shift, your body even physically shifts into that mode. You become tense, guarded, irritated, defeated sometimes before anything has even gone wrong, actually. So here's the connection to the automatic negative thoughts. This phrase often combines, again, as I said, with two major cognitive distortions. The first one is called fortune telling. That's when your brain predicts a negative outcome before the evidence is even really there. So here we go again is often translated in your brain into this is going to fail. I already know how this ends. The future gets treated like a fact instead of a possibility. That's really important. And second, overgeneralization is the other automatic negative thought this connects to. One bad experience becomes this always happens. You always do this. Now your brain starts connecting the present moments to every past disappointment. So one awkward interaction becomes nobody listens to me. One setback becomes I can never get ahead. One stressful situation becomes every time I try something, this happens. And that, my friends, is the trap. So how does this change your behavior? Well, see, this is where it gets sneaky. Once your brain starts expecting the failure, it starts scanning for proof, looking for evidence. That's how anxiety loops grow. That's how your mood sometimes drops. That's how relationship arguments, for example, can escalate. That's how people talk themselves out of trying something again. Because now you're not entering situations openly and evenly. You're entering them brace for impact, like you're going to have a crash. And people do this all the time, as I said, with relationships, work, like in social situations. People do it with things like ADHD, motivation, confidence, emotional regulation, you name it. We can stand here for a while and talk about that. Here we go with, again, I'm going to screw this up. I'm going to get overwhelmed. I'm going to fail. The brain starts rehearsing defeat before action even begins. So here is an important reality check. Let me be real clear. Recognizing patterns, nothing wrong with that. That's actually healthy. But pretending problems don't exist isn't the goal. That's not what we're trying to do. Sometimes patterns are real, but there's a difference between I've struggled with this before and nothing will change because I've struggled before. Those are very different. Those are not psychologically the same thing. So one is awareness and the other one is surrender, really defeat. And a lot of people don't realize when they've crossed that line internally. So here is a better reframe. A healthier response sounds more like, this feeling is familiar, but the outcome is not guaranteed. That's a whole different perspective. That's a completely different direction that you're going in, because now your brain is staying flexible instead of being locked into a prediction mode, a negative prediction mode on top of that. See, then you're leaving room for different choices, different outcomes, new behaviors, different responses. And then psychologically, that flexibility really, really matters a lot. So the next time you catch yourself automatically, reflexively saying, here we go again, just pause for a second, put a little pause in there, and then ask yourself, am I reacting to this moment, or am I reacting to old frustration and defeats and problems